So today, guys, I was going through some of my old notes and I found a note that I had saved from one of the original YouTube barbers. That's Mr. Al's Millions. And so I was reading this note and I thought, man, this is something that's so relevant all the time and really something that I think that some of you guys could benefit from. So here it is. Barbers. Your clients are your stockholders, your team players, your advertising agents. They're financing your dreams and your lifestyle. They help determine what kind of car you drive, where you live, and what you live in. So stop treating them like beggars and one-night stands. Self-centered barbers think it's mostly about them, and they act like they have the only pair of clippers in the world. Meanwhile, they're going through new customers like crazy, and many of them never return. Not because of their skill level, but because of their selfish attitude and their inability to appreciate the potential opportunity each customer brings. You will never reach your full potential if you don't understand and respect the source of your existence. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I've said a lot of things about barbers, but this just kind of sums it up. You have to understand that, like I've said before, you fired one boss to get 200 bosses, 300 bosses, or however many regular clients that you fired all of them. You fired that one boss to now get all of these new bosses. And, I dare to say that if you're still having some of the same issues, maybe it's a problem with authority, and that's more of a developmental issue than that's a personal developmental issue and not a client issue. And that's a totally separate thing. Something needs to be addressed, but that's a totally separate thing from what we're talking about today and what this quote is talking about. And so let's go back in and look at this. Your clients are your stockholders, your team players, and your advertising agents. Your stockholders, meaning they have invested in you by giving you money. I understand that there is a trade of services, but by giving you money, they're investing in you. Right? They're your stockholders. By them continuing to come to you, they have joined your team. Now, just and this is from a couple years ago. This is before this was ever really relevant. One of the things that you have to think about now that's so relevant, especially in college sports, is that at any given time, a player can request a trade or enter the transfer portal. And guess what? There's nothing you can do about it. That is their prerogative. That is their right and everything. You can be upset and in your feelings about it if you want. But what you can't do is make this statement, in which I hear a lot of times, this statement of people saying, oh, well, I lost them so I can make room for others. If you're not filling the spot, especially if this was a consistent client, if you're not filling the spot, then you don't have a spot for others. I just want you to understand, you don't have a spot for others. Okay? And then your advertising agents. The advertisement, a lot of times, so the quality of your haircut many times is just how shall I put this? The quality of your skills is just the wrapper to who you are, like the wrapper in the packaging, right? It's the cellophane to the product. And then you're saying, well, no, the haircut is the product. No, the haircut is the byproduct of everything else you've done. Everything. The haircut is the byproduct of everything else you've done. From the way that you greet your clients, the quality, like it's all those. The haircut, like you've heard me say before, just cutting hair is the lowest level of value that you can get in the beauty industry. Doing the work is the lowest level of value that you can get. Now, and I say that to say this. Go to a bank, right? If you don't believe me, look at the qualifications when people talk about investing in businesses. There is not many people besides your family who are going to invest in a business where you are the main thing in the business. Take it for what you want. They're not. They're not. They're just not. Yeah, they're gonna come get a haircut with you, maybe, sure. But if you were to say, hey, would you invest in my business? And let's say you're the solo barber or you're just renting a chair, they're not looking to invest, because what type of return of investment can they get, or can they guarantee? Their return on their investment is all tied into you. One person. Right? And I'm gonna give you some homework to do in this conversation. I'm gonna give you some homework to look at. Right? Look up what is called a key man insurance policy. A lot of your actors, your mega church preachers, church preachers just in general, they all have what is called a key man policy on them, most of them, right? And why do they have that key man policy? Because the insurance company understands that for a lot of these places, these businesses, these churches, a lot of the business of the church is tied to an individual. It's tied to an individual, right? So, again, like I said, we were talking about your advertising agents. And your advertising agents, not only are they talking about the quality of the haircut, but also how you do business. You can give a great haircut, but if you're never at work to accept walk-ins, if you never answer the phone to get new clients, that's it's a really difficult process, right? So keep that in mind. You also have to keep in mind, like I said, that like these people that we're talking about, they pay for your dreams and your lifestyle. Like, wow. When you look at it that way, like, when you worked for, wherever you worked, like your customer for a lot of people, if you worked in Walmart, if you worked in a factory or something like that, a lot of times, although you may have seen your customer or, something like that, a lot of times that customer, you don't get to really interact with them. You don't really get to see, like, so you're getting a paycheck based on a relationship that you didn't have to develop. You got a job based on a relationship that you did not have to develop. People need to keep that like, yeah, you're getting it's a relationship that you didn't have to develop, right? And so, like I said, they're paying for your dreams and your lifestyles. They help. They help determine the car you drive, where you live. Like, they help determine all of those things based on the money that they are willing to spend with you. Just the first 3 sentences alone, and we're not done with this third sentence, but in just the first 2.5 sentences alone, if this doesn't like really start to change your mind about some things, I don't know. And Al closes out that third sentence by saying, stop treating them like beggars and one-night stands. Now, I'm going to say this. Even with a funnel of new clients that is consistent, you are going to run out of people. I promise you, you're going to run out of people if you treat them like beggars and one-night stands. They're not begging you. And like he continues to say in the next sentence, like, don't act like you are the only person that has clippers in the world. I can go to almost any store within reason and buy a pair of clippers. I can go to CVS, which is a pharmacy. I can go to any of the smaller box stores. I can go to Walmart. I can go to Dollar General. I don't know if you can get clippers from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure. But within reason in general, Target, I can go to Ross, I can go to Berlin. I can go to any of those stores and get a pair of clippers. Now, as barbers, a lot of barbers, cut their own hair. It only takes, it may take a while, but if you're willing to withstand a few bad haircuts here and there and things like that, you can figure it out and do a pretty decent job. May not be great, but decent enough to pass to keep you out the barbershop. So why would you treat the clients as if they don't want, or as if you're just this ultra important person? Oh, I make them look good. You don't even make them feel good. You don't even make them feel good. That's why a lot of them don't return. You got cash breath, you know, or you got cat. You cut. You're in the shop and you're cutting their hair as if they are money. Like, you know, like those old cartoons back in the day when a dog sees a human and he's somewhere he's not supposed to be, and the dog is hungry, and they go from being a human, they go from being that human character, and then they morph into a big juicy steak. Like, you're looking at people and they're turning into money. Oh, money. Come on. And then you put them in the chair, and you don't even you cut their hair as fast as you possibly can. This is what I see for a lot of, you cut their hair as fast as they possibly can. Or you cut their hair and you take so much time as if these people don't have other things to do. I'm just putting it out there. You know, I'm just putting it out there. But, you know, I really wish the Barber Roundtable guy was better. I pray for him that he gets better and he deals with whatever he has going on. But one of the greatest statements that he ever said in one of his videos, and I'll never forget it, he said, just so you understand, most people don't care how well you cut hair. And the longer I spend in this business, the more I realize how true that statement is. I've gotten the same money for what in today's age I would consider to be I've gotten the same money as the barber when I first started in a shop as the barber that I am now. And the barber I was delivered a much different product than what I do now. Sometimes I think back to those haircuts and I think to myself, man, I should have given them that haircut because it was so bad. And I've gotten the same money that I get now as I got then. And you're saying, oh, well, why didn't you up your prices if you got so much better? I'm here to serve the community. The community. Not it based on the community standards and the community and the community in which we serve lifestyle. They're not gonna pay me your exuberant price. Oh, well, you don't know until you. I don't want to charge them an exuberant price right now. That's not the market that I'm serving right now can't afford that. I would have to go get a whole new market. And because because I'm opening a school, what would it make sense to build up this giant clientele if I know that I'm leaving. I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyways, back to this here quote. Acting as if you have the only clippers in the world is just ludicrous to me. It doesn't make sense. And at the same time, like you can't keep any new customer, right? They come in, they get in your chair, they leave, and they never come back. It's not. I don't care if you're the best part. It's not about. It's not about the skill level. It's not. It's not about the skill level. For as much as people say it's about, it's really not. It is really not about the skill level. Right? Once you get to an above average or average range, right? You can pretty much coast in average forever. You can make good money off of being average. Now, if you desire to be more than that, that's a personal decision. It's not a customer decision. Understand me. Like being better than average is a personal decision, not a customer decision. I desire to do more with hair. I desire to increase my standards as far as hair, my haircuts and things like that. Not really for the client's sake, for mine, because that's my standard. It's not the client. I think in all my years of barbering, I think I only had. I don't think I've had one. Maybe indirectly, but maybe one that said, "Oh man, you need to do better." One, and guess what? That client is a habitual chair jumper. He builds no relationships with any barbers. He's going where he can get in, when he can get in. If he got to wait longer than 5 or 10 minutes, he's not doing it. I don't know what to tell you. But the landscape of barbering is changing. You know, what used to seem like a crazy thing to make an appointment has generally always been a thing in cosmetology, never been a thing really in barbering. Now it's becoming more and more regulated. It is what it is. But again, listen, don't damage your business and yourself by just being selfish. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. You're selfish. You're selfish. You don't see opportunities in developing long-term relationships. You're not looking to build long-term relationships with these clients. You're just looking to give me your money and maybe you'll come back, maybe you won't. That's it. That is it. So, you know, and like Al said, and I'm going to leave it with what he said. I'm not going to add anything to it. You will never reach your full potential if you don't understand and respect the source of your existence. You have chosen to be a barber. So for the time being, this is what you're doing. So I believe that you should dominate and be the best that you can possibly be, even if it's a beginner. Do the best that you can do. And keep pushing forward. Keep moving forward. All right? You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm your host, Devon Evans. This has been another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. Have a wonderful night.